When you prepare shiitake mushrooms, what do you do with the stems? Almost everyone cuts them off and throws them away. They are tough, fibrous, and take longer to cook than the caps. Discarding them feels practical, but today you are going to find out that the part you have been throwing away contains more of the immune-activating compound than the part you have been eating, and that every time you tossed those stems, you discarded the most nutritionally concentrated portion of the mushroom. A study measuring beta-glucan concentration across 10 shiitake varieties found that the caps contained 20 to 44% beta-glucan, while the stems contained 29 to 56%. The stems outperformed the caps by up to 1.5 times in the compound most responsible for shiitake's immune and anti-tumor reputation. This research was published in peer-reviewed scientific literature and confirmed by a National Forestry and Agricultural Research Institution. It is not folklore. It is measured data. Beta-glucan is a polysaccharide found in the cell walls of mushrooms, certain grains, and yeasts. When it enters your body, it binds to receptors on the surface of macrophages, the immune system's frontline patrol cells, and triggers activation. Activated macrophages identify and destroy pathogens, cellular debris, and abnormal cells far more efficiently than resting ones. Think of it as switching your immune system from routine patrol mode into full active alert. Simultaneously, beta-glucan enhances natural killer cell activity. NK cells are the immune system's specialized assassins, capable of identifying and destroying cancer cells and virus-infected cells without prior sensitization. Multiple peer-reviewed reviews have confirmed that beta-glucan affects macrophages, NK cells, and dendritic cells simultaneously, producing a broad-spectrum amplification of the innate immune response. The clinical evidence is compelling. A randomized dietary intervention study in healthy adults found that consuming shiitake mushrooms daily for 4 weeks produced measurable improvements in immune cell proliferation and activation, along with significantly increased levels of secretory IgA. Secretory IgA is the antibody that lines the mucous membranes of your mouth, nose, respiratory tract, and gut. It is your body's first contact barrier against inhaled and ingested pathogens. Higher SIgA means the entrances to your body are better defended. A meta-analysis synthesizing data across multiple studies found that people consuming around 18 grams of mushrooms daily showed 45% lower risk of developing breast, lung, and stomach cancers compared to those who consumed less. No single food prevents cancer, but that magnitude of association in epidemiological data is among the strongest observed for any dietary factor. Shiitake stems also contain aritadenine, a compound found exclusively in shiitake mushrooms and nowhere else in the food supply. Aritadenine directly intervenes in how the liver processes cholesterol, reducing LDL levels in the blood. In one study, consuming 50 grams of dried shiitake weekly produced approximately a 10% reduction in cholesterol levels. The stems are not just immune food. They are cardiovascular food as well. Amino acid analysis shows that shiitake stems contain higher concentrations of glutamic acid and other essential amino acids than the caps. Glutamic acid is the source of umami flavor and also serves as a neurotransmitter in the brain. This is why shiitake stems have been used as a foundational ingredient in Japanese dashi broth for centuries. The flavor rationale has a nutritional basis. There is one more compelling reason to dry the stems before using them. Shiitake mushrooms contain ergosterol, which converts into vitamin D2 when exposed to ultraviolet light. Drying the stems in direct sunlight for 3 to 4 hours dramatically increases their vitamin D content. Given that a large proportion of people in temperate climates and high-latitude regions are vitamin D deficient, sun-dried shiitake stems offer 2 immune nutrients simultaneously: beta-glucan for direct immune cell activation, and vitamin D for immune cell maturation and regulation. The combination is synergistic. Now let us address the practical problem. The stems are tough. How do you actually eat them? The answer is simple preparation that transforms their texture and concentrates their nutrients. The first and most effective method is shiitake stem tea. This approach maximizes beta-glucan extraction while eliminating the texture issue entirely. Wash the stems and dry them in sunlight for 3 to 4 days until completely desiccated. This drying step is essential. It concentrates the beta-glucan, increases vitamin D, and dramatically extends shelf life. Use 10 to 15 grams of dried stems per 500 milliliters of water. Simmer on low heat for 20 to 30 minutes. Beta-glucan is water-soluble and extracts efficiently into the liquid. Strain and drink 1 to 2 cups daily. The resulting tea has a deep, savory, earthy quality that is genuinely pleasant without sweetening. 1 cup of this tea provides a beta-glucan dose comparable to quality commercial supplements, at a fraction of the cost. The second method is stir-fried shiitake stems. Tear the raw stems lengthwise into thin strips rather than cutting them. This breaks down the fibrous structure and allows marinade to penetrate fully. Combine 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, half a tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of perilla oil or sesame oil, half a tablespoon of chili flakes, and half a tablespoon of honey or plum extract. Marinate the torn stems for 10 minutes. Then stir-fry over medium heat for 5 to 7 minutes. Finish with sesame seeds. The result is chewy, deeply savory, and satisfying as a side dish with rice. The omega-3 fatty acids in perilla oil provide a complementary anti-inflammatory effect alongside the beta-glucan's immune action. Keep the heat at medium and the cooking time under 8 minutes. High heat for extended periods can degrade beta-glucan's structural integrity. The third method is shiitake stem broth. Combine 20 grams of dried stems with 1 piece of kombu seaweed in 1 liter of cold water. Soak for 30 minutes, then heat gently until just before boiling. Reduce heat and simmer for 15 minutes. This broth serves as the base for miso soup, noodle dishes, or grain cooking. Because beta-glucan dissolves into the liquid, every spoonful of soup made from this broth delivers the compound directly. Combining shiitake stem broth with miso creates a synergy between beta-glucan's immune stimulation and miso's probiotic isoflavins, amplifying the overall immune support. For a practical 7-day plan on day 1, begin drying stems collected from your next shiitake purchase by placing them in direct sunlight. Days 1 through 3, tear fresh stems and stir-fry them as a side dish for lunch or dinner. By day 4, your dried stems will be ready. From day 4 onward, brew 1 cup of stem tea each morning before breakfast. Days 5 through 7, prepare stem broth and use it as the base for your evening soup. After 1 week, assess your energy on waking, your recovery speed from physical exertion, and any changes in throat sensitivity or fatigue. Immune marker improvements in clinical studies became most pronounced after 2 to 4 weeks of consistent intake. So commit to 4 weeks to experience the full effect. Storage guidance is straightforward. Fresh stems stored in a sealed container in the refrigerator remain usable for 3 to 5 days. For longer storage, fully dry them in sunlight and store in an airtight container at room temperature for 2 to 3 weeks. Alternatively, freeze raw stems in Ziploc bags for up to 6 months. Frozen stems can go directly into simmering broth without thawing. Now for the important cautions. Shiitake and their stems are broadly safe, but several specific situations require care. First, shiitake dermatitis is a real, if uncommon, allergic reaction. It appears as linear streaks of rash on the skin, and occurs most commonly from raw or undercooked shiitake. Always cook stems fully before eating. And if you are trying them for the first time, begin with a small amount and wait 24 hours to observe any skin response. Second, those with gout or elevated uric acid should be mindful. Shiitake contains purines, and excessive intake may raise uric acid levels. Keep daily dried stem consumption below 30 to 50 grams, and discuss your specific situation with your physician. Third, and this is critical, people with autoimmune diseases should consult their doctor before using shiitake stems medicinally. Beta-glucan is an immune stimulant. In conditions where the immune system is already hyperactive and attacking the body's own tissue, including lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and multiple sclerosis, further immune stimulation may worsen symptoms. This is not a food to self-prescribe at high intake levels. if autoimmune disease applies to you. Fourth, anyone on immunosuppressant medications, including post-transplant patients, must discuss this with their physician before adding significant amounts of immune-stimulating foods. The immune-enhancing effect of beta-glucan can potentially counteract immunosuppression. Stop throwing the best part away. Those stems are not kitchen scraps. They are the most immune-dense portion of one of the most studied functional foods in nutritional science. If this video helped you, please subscribe, like, and share it with someone who still discards their shiitake stems. Leave your questions below and I will answer every one. Next time, we are covering the 3 ingredients that triple shiitake's immune effect when combined in the same dish. Turn on notifications. Stay well.